Hey, welcome everybody. Come on in. So, I know I've been gone for a while, so those who've been waiting for me to come back, which is probably, I will guess, none of you because none of you knew that I was coming on. But, um, welcome in. I'm just going to be talking a little bit. We're going to just talk, just casually, nothing too crazy. Just going into relationships and things of that nature and dating. If you saw the two previous videos that I did maybe a few weeks ago, we talked about dating apps and all the craziness as far as trying people trying to find each other, women trying to find men, men trying to find women, and it's just crazy out here. And a lot of us are doing it online, trying to find people. um and I just really wanted to dive in, I guess, and talk a little bit more about uh really just talking more about how to find how I know a lot of women are having a lot of trouble finding good men. So I just wanted this video to be a little bit more tailored to women, how women can find good men. And maybe there's some ladies out there that may have some videos out there that may want to share or share within the comments. So I will know, how so I'll be able to so we can show the men how to find good women. So we can find the good people can find each other and we can weed out the bad folks, because there's a lot of bad folks on both sides. Um this isn't about demeaning women or demeaning men or bringing one group down to just so the other can feel better, because at the end of the day it doesn't help either one of us. If I'm out here shouting angrily about women, it doesn't help men, what I'm saying, to be angry at women. It doesn't help women to be angry at men. So, you know, I think there's a way that we can both find our common ground, and basically find each other and be able to meet each other where we're at. I know a lot of women have trouble finding that right guy, or have trouble finding the person that they're looking for in their mind. And I think the problem with dating is, I think now, especially now that we're all online, we give ourselves a lot of we give ourselves, both men and women, we give ourselves a lot of false ideas and false we build up these things in our mind, or we give each other a false uh what do you say, we make up these things about each other, about what we want, and it just becomes it is not real. We live in this fantasy world. And I think a lot of the main thing about dating nowadays is we have to break that whole fantasy mindset. If we can break that fantasy mindset, I think that we'll have a better chance of finding each other. You know, we build up these things where there's women out there that are looking for these guys who are millionaires, and not saying that guys, they're not millionaires out there that aren't looking for women, because there definitely are. And there's not and every guy isn't broke, but uh just because a guy doesn't make a lot of money doesn't mean that he's not a bad guy, or he's not a guy that you can marry, and vice versa. Women, a lot of guys are looking for a certain type of woman, and women are built. Let's be honest, women are built differently now. You know what I'm saying? This is a new day. Women aren't necessarily the same as our mothers or our grandmothers, or maybe the older women that we saw growing up. Women now are a little bit different from that, you know. And the women that are coming up, the younger women that are coming up, they're going to be a whole lot different. The next batch of women, the next batch of young men, also, they're going to be a lot different. They're not going to, like, the young guys now are not going to act the same as our grandfathers did, or the same way our fathers did. They grew up under different circumstances. We all grew up a whole lot different, with different expectations. Our parents gave us different expectations, if we had parents. Our schooling is Everything has been different. Everything changes over the decades, and that's one thing that we have to realize. It's hard out here. Hey, Janine, what's up? It's hard out here. Shake my head. Y- I used to be picky. Hey, look, let me tell you something. We all are picky. All of us, like every single last one of us are picky. And I think especially because this online culture is we're even more picky, you know. We're a lot more picky nowadays than ever. Uh and a lot of it has to do with, I think, our maybe our past relationships. We saw what worked and we saw what didn't work, and a lot of us say I want better than what I had before, and a lot of times people end up getting what they've already had because we tend to attract what we really are. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we attract a lot of the same. You know, it's really hard to get away from what you attract. You know what I mean? Now you might subconsciously, might not know it consciously, but you might subconsciously attract a certain type of man or a certain type of woman. You know what I mean? So like I've noticed, like even the women that I've dated, like they all might look different, but there's a similarity. If you really pay attention to their characteristics and who they are, you'll see a pattern. You know, and they all like I'll be honest, most of my girlfriends, they none of them look the same. Now it's funny because one of my brothers, all the girlfriends that I've ever seen him with, they all I can't even tell, honestly, sometimes I can't tell them the difference because they all look kind of the same to me. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how you know the facial features or whatever. I know at one time there was one girl I thought was a whole nother person. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was a whole different person. And they at one time he dated somebody that had the same name. But it's crazy. But for me, all my past girlfriends have looked totally different. But if you look at their personality traits, they all are basically the same. You know, they basically all were the same as far as how they interact with people, as far as what kind of person they are. But you know, I see you laughing at me. um, but yeah, so I just wanted to just touch a little bit on. If you got any questions, you can throw it on the chat, and I'll try to read it out and I'll try to respond. I don't know how long this conversation is going to go. I know the last one that I did about dating, and it went up for about 45 minutes or an hour or something like that. I think I can't remember how long I did, but I'll try to go on as long as I can talk. Um, one thing I do notice is like I feel like the online world is kind of like breeding a lot of more introverts. I feel like because like even like I've dated younger women who may be in their 20s or whatever, and I'm noticing there are more girls now that are introverted now than there were before. It just that's what it seems like. I don't know. I maybe I'm making this up, but it just seems that way. That the younger generation of people, they're more introverted than extroverted nowadays. But personally, I've always been an introverted person, so that never really bothered me too much as far as that's concerned. What do you think about online dating? Um, I think that maybe one day it might be better, but as of right now, it's like garbage right now. Like it's trash. Like right now, like only because like online dating, um, I feel like well, I don't know about online dating, but like at least trying to meet people online as far as like looking through dating sites and trying to you know, the whole messaging people and stuff like that. I think that is kind of trash only because like you miss out on a lot of social cues. Like for instance, like I might say something, I might type something out, but you might not be able to get how I'm saying it, or you might not really be able to get what I'm trying to relate that's in my mind. You know what I mean? If I say something out like this for instance, I'm on Facebook a lot, and I might post something. I might make a post, or I might make light fun of something, or I just might make a post and make a blank statement, right? And then you'll have like a slew of people who will get angry and they'll have all kinds of feelings and have this and that and say, and they start going at it, and all of a sudden you're in an argument. You're like, hold up, I wasn't even thinking like that. I wasn't even thinking that deep about it. But you know what I mean? So a lot of people might not pick up your personality, or they might not pick up, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like reading a blanks uh you really don't get the depth of how a person feels when you're texting, and messaging and DMing. So people can take what you say, and they might take it the wrong way. Or vice versa. You might say something innocent, and they might take it as sexual, or they might take it as, what I'm saying, that you're going in a whole different way. You're like, oh, I wasn't going there. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, it could be real weird though too, cause um, like I I know I'll say this. I don't even I don't put my personal stuff out there like that, but um, okay, like for instance, I was talking to one girl online, and it was real short, cause I peep. I don't I'm not really I'm I'm really suspicious of people. I'll say that. Kind of sort of. So like as soon as I started talking to her, she started already trying to invite me over and all that kind of stuff. And I'm thinking, yo, I don't know you. Like in my mind, I didn't say this to the girl, but like I'm just thinking, I don't know you like that. I'm just trying to, go out and, maybe at least go out on a date first, or go out and talk to the person physically, you know what I'm saying? And see how you are, you know what I mean? But to just be like, hey, can you come over now or whatever, yada yada. The first thing in my mind, besides, how I feel about anything else relationship wise or whatever, I'm thinking, yo, this chick might be crazy. She might be trying to set me up. You know what I'm saying? Because especially females, not just females, but people do that. There's people out there that are going to set you, that might try to set you up. You never know what you're going to get yourself into. So you got to be really careful. Like you really want to know the people that you're dealing with. Let me see. Joker voice. Why so serious? Yeah, stop talking. Stop taking what I say out of context. Jeez. Yeah, right. Cautious, cautious. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, you gotta be cautious. You just gotta be cautious. I mean, we live in a very dangerous day. I mean, like you just don't know. The people have different motives, men and women. So it's not just always guys that are always out to get you. Every guy's in the boogeyman and everything like that. But at the same time, you want to have trust in people, and trust in that the person that you're dealing with is good. But at the same time, you want to give them room to prove that trust. You know what I mean? Before you just outly just you want to give them ways to prove that they are who they say they are. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's kind of like you have to balance it, because you don't want to give off a vibe where you're putting up walls, because I've dealt with that too. And honestly, like those females, those I'm sorry, let me say women, because I don't like saying females. Um, those women I cut off really quickly. Like if I feel that there's a big wall right there, I cut it off right there, because I'm not trying to, especially at my age, I'm not trying to climb any walls. I'm not trying to break any barriers. I'm just trying to just getting to know you shouldn't be that hard. You know what I mean? So like if I gotta go through the fire and all that just to get to know who you are as a person, then there's a problem with you, and you need some counseling and therapy. So that's how I feel on that. Um yeah, that's just how I feel on that. So yeah, I'm not about that life, as far as like just trying to go through, just climb every mountain, trying to find out, trying to win your, it's one thing trying to gradually you gradually like a person, you know what I'm saying? And as far as winning their heart, um I don't think you should be, there's a way that you can give people a chance without withholding so much. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of times a lot of women withhold a lot of who they are and try to put up these barriers and try to put up it's almost like they try to hide who they are and I guess wait for you to kind of break all that down. With what like it's like I don't know. It just seemed like something in the movies. And the one thing about guys is anything you see on TV or on the movies, that we're not that. You know what I'm saying? TV is made for it's definitely TV shows that have relationships and stuff. That stuff is made for women and made for female I mean women fantasy, you know what I'm saying? And in reality that stuff don't work. I think walls are up because of broken hearts. I mean, yeah, yeah, broken hearts. Yeah, it is, and that's the reason why I would say therapy, is important. Um, hold on for 1 second. I gotta plug this up. Yeah, that's why I would say that therapy is important. Cause sorry about that. I was in the dark the whole time. I totally forgot to plug this up. But yeah, therapy is definitely important. For men and for women, you know what I'm saying? At one, we all need it. We all need it. So, we all gone through things or whatever. Um, from, your childhood all the way up to your adulthood and whatever. And you need it. You're laughing at me again. But yeah, so um yeah, I've been on a couple of apps. I'm not gonna say the names of the apps just because I'm not trying to give any I'm not getting paid to do this. If somebody want to give me some money, I will say your name. That's when I'll start doing Pepsi commercials, uh, you know, Coca-Cola commercials. I'll do all that. But right now, I ain't getting paid for this, so I'm just chilling. So yeah, yeah. Any other questions? Um, yeah. So I'm trying to remember everything. Well, not everything, but what we talked about in the last in the last in the last video, where I was talking about the dating apps. If we're talking about dating apps, I know I was seeing a lot of like just a lot of people. You know what I noticed in dating apps? Well, people be like in their description or in their bio, they'll say stuff like, well, they'll say, um, they'll tell you everything they don't like. I like this. I don't like this kind of man, or I don't like this and that and the other. All right, stay away from telling people what you don't like. You know what I'm saying? I just think it just puts a bad taste in people's mouth. Even the first thing when you're approach when you're trying to introduce yourself to the world, you want to at least sound like you're happy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they lie. Yeah, I mean, yeah, people do lie, but and that's another thing. You want to be honest with yourself. You want to be honest with yourself and honest with the world. So if you're gonna put anything you're gonna type out there, like make sure you're honest with yourself first. Like just don't just put down anything, you know, and saying I don't want this and I don't want that. Um, that's something I think once you're talking with a person, then you have that conversation. Okay, this is what I'm not going to deal with, and this is what I'm willing to deal with. But don't put that in your bio. You know what I'm saying? Once you find the person, first get somebody to talk to. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times this is what I think a lot of women don't realize. Well, I'm sure men do it too, but I don't because I'm a man. I wouldn't know what men do to put women off. But what I do know is what women do that put men off. So yeah, the whole negative stuff. If yeah, you want to just sound sweet, just you know what I'm saying, and not butter them up, but just be honest and say, I'm this. Talk about yourself. Say I'm this kind of person. I like this. I like that. This is what I like to do and this is what I'm looking forward for. If you're looking for marriage, looking for a husband. And don't put that you're not okay. If you're on a dating site, yes, we know that you're probably not looking for a casual time or somebody that's going to just be a one night stand and all that kind of stuff. Okay, we understand that you're on a dating site. Now there are people that are on there for that. That's something you have a conversation with them once you got them in. Once they're in your inbox and y'all talking, then you say, okay, I'm not looking for no one time stand. Now I'm looking for a relationship. Now you could put on there that you're looking for a relationship, but I wouldn't put on there. I, you know, don't. The thing you don't want to do is sound like you have baggage, and that's what a lot of times it comes off as when women say that they don't want this or that. It sounds like they have baggage. So when a man is reading it, they're reading like whining. They're reading all your past hurts and stuff. That's what they're reading. So that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. You know what I mean? So they lie. Yeah. I think I read that before. I don't know if you were talking about men or women, but yeah, a lot of people do lie on the dating sites. And that's why you want to get to know a person because you can when you get to know a person, then you can see through the lies because it's not going to be people who lie aren't consistent. Okay, that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. When people tell you something, remember what they tell you, and then evaluate it with their actions. You know what I'm saying? Evaluate it with their actions and they're consistent actions, not just one action. Oh, they did this one time, and you know what I'm saying? Because nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying? We say things that we believe, and a lot of times we don't always follow through with what we believe all the time, and that's consistent with every person. But a person who does believe a certain way or think a certain way isn't going to consistently be doing opposite of what they believe. You know what I mean? You're going to see some kind of effort of them trying to stay consistent with what they say and what they believe. A person who's a liar isn't going to be consistent with what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see the pattern, and that's what you want to do is look for the pattern. Okay, this person said this and they weren't consistent here. Okay, I'm not dealing with this person because they're obviously a liar. You know what I mean? So I mean, I think that's a way to avoid, avoid people that are lying or saying saying one thing and doing a whole nother thing. Um, yeah. Hold on. Let me see if I can scroll down in case there's more. How can you tell if a guy or girl is into you? Hmm. I, a guy Usually a guy would say that he's into you. I know usually for me, like if I'm talking to a girl, if I'm into her, I'm gonna tell her, I'm just gonna be very direct and tell her that I'm into her. Um, but I find it that it's harder for women to be direct. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, I've broken up with women just because, if I feel like I don't know how you feel about me, I'm just not gonna just gonna tell you, hey, look, I've been dating you for X amount of weeks or months or X, and I've already told you how I felt. So, and I don't know how you feel, so I'm gonna cut this off. And I've had that conversation before, like, and a lot of women nowadays, I would say, and maybe it's younger women, I don't know, but I know that a lot of women have an issue of being direct and saying what's directly on their mind. What if you have something on your mind with a guy, just be direct. That's the only way he's really gonna understand. Don't try to, you know, beat around the bush and him ha because guys aren't like that. Guys don't really think like that. We don't we're not if you beat around the bush, we're not gonna really know what you're talking about. We're not gonna get what you're trying to say. So you gotta really come at us very direct. How can you tell if a guy or a girl is into you? Um, you could tell that a guy is into a guy. Yeah, like I said, a guy's gonna let you know. For the most part, I'm just talking, telling you, telling you how I would. I can't really say about all guys because maybe all guys aren't that direct. What if you afraid of rejection? Oh yeah, you gotta end that. I mean, yeah, you can't be afraid of rejection. If I mean, like, it's the same thing. Why apply for a job if they might not, if there's a chance they might not hire you? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's just something you got to take a chance. So, you're not going to have anything, you know? If you don't take a chance, I mean, sure, sure, it's possible they might reject you, you know what I'm saying? But you can't be afraid of it. If you do get rejected, then what? Well, you just move on to the next person. It's nothing to a rejection is not anything to be afraid of. It's just something that you just rejection is something to help you eliminate your it helps you eliminate uh what do you call it? Like when you have choices, helps you eliminate your choices. So okay, I got rejected here. I don't need this anymore. I can move on to this and this and this, and you just keep moving on. Um, yeah, and don't take it personally because like rejection, everybody isn't gonna be for you. You know what I mean? I've been in, there were women that I've approached or whatever, and they weren't for whatever reason into me or whatever. So like, I think maybe guys are more used to rejection than women. Because we get guys get rejection a lot more than women. So we've been used to rejection since we were kids. you know you're in first grade, second grade, you're in elementary school, and then there's a girl you like, and then I mean, I'm not telling you anything from me, but I'm just saying, I think guys are a little bit more used to rejection. I think we're a little bit more built for it. Well, I think anybody can be, but I think guys are more used to it. um, and maybe because of how most girls most women have grown up as girls, they've been kind of sheltered from rejection a little bit. So when women get rejected, it really hurts. For instance, like guys, we grew up, joning. Well, I'm not saying that girls didn't grow up joning either, but like guys, we would just rag on each other real hard, and like guys, the way we talk to each other, we would just bring out all of our imperfections to each other, and just oh, what I'm saying, just growing up, and girls, you were always kind of taught, hey, you don't say this about girls. You don't tell a girl that she's not pretty. You don't tell a girl that you're not. You don't tell girls all these bad things. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of times girls have been hidden, have been the truth has been hidden from y'all a lot. So then when y'all do hear the truth or hear something, and sometimes it's not even rejection, sometimes it's just what y'all don't want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just a lot of times y'all might take what y'all don't want to hear as rejection. But yeah, rejection is something that you have to be built for. You have to build up a tolerance for it. I think that's just only human. Like every human being should build up a tolerance for rejection. And I think that is real. I think that's a healthy thing because I mean, you don't want. We hear about people that have all these problems and suicide and all this kind of stuff, and then you realize it's because they were in love and all that kind of stuff. And it's crazy as it sounds, I think we would have less people with mental breakdowns if were people knew how to deal with rejection and knew and built up a tolerance for it. And I think that's something that you have to grow up with. I have been friend zoned a lot. Jenny, I see you only as a friend. Yeah, I've heard that myself. You know what I'm saying? So I mean that's just something that that's just something that it's a natural. I think because men are used to that. That's a common thing that men are used to. We're used to hearing the whole friend zone thing, or being friend zoned by women. and we do it too. We friend zone women though too. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's I we live in a funny. I think we live in a funny time because people people want, like I said in the beginning of the conversation, I think that we've built up so many fantasies in our minds of what we want, and a lot of times we miss out on relationships because of that. Or I know a lot of men, I'll say this with a lot of men like myself. At one time, I was dating a whole lot. I kind of slowed down a lot after one relationship, and I really was just looking at, finances, and I wanted to make sure that I'm thinking about my I'm thinking about how am I going to retire. You know what I mean? And maybe one day I might get married. One day, I might have kids or whatever. But I really want to be able to have something to bring to the table before I do all that. You know what I mean? Like, I think nowadays men have a there's higher expectations for men, a little to have more. You know what I mean? So men have to have more nowadays than, like like my grandfather. Both of my grandfathers on my dad's side and my mom's side, they both were janitors. Not just janitors, they worked for the government, but they made a good salary being janitors, working for the government. Now I can't take a job like that. You know what I'm saying? I went to college, I have a degree, and even if I have a degree, now because I have a degree, I can't take even if I apply for a job like that, they probably won't hire me because of my degree. They'll look at it and they'll say, "Oh, he's overqualified because he has a degree. He's going to ask for more money." So it's kind of a, you know what I mean? It's men nowadays have to have a lot more in order to be in a relationship with women. You know what I'm saying? So there's a financial dynamic that men are looking at nowadays, which why a lot of men are just kind of staying. A lot of men decide to stay single more than they decide to be in relationships nowadays. Is because they're looking at the financial part of it, and you know it's easier to live life single for a man. It's easier for a man to live life single financially and be okay, because most men don't want a whole lot. Like, most men aren't worried about having a comfortable life, and having, when I've dated women, and once you walk in their apartments or whatever, all you see is comfort. Their whole home lifestyle is built around comfort. You know what I'm saying? They got a nice couch, a nice everything looks nice or whatever. They might be in debt over their heads. You know what I'm saying? They'll have a nice car or whatever. They'll be in debt over their heads and can't pay anything hardly, but they're gonna at least have something. They're gonna have nice stuff. Most guys are more practical. Most guys are thinking, okay, if I can't afford it, if I'm not going to go and use my credit to buy this or that and the other. Whatever I make is what I make. If I don't have it to pay, I'm not buying it. You know what I'm saying? So most guys are very practical. I know guys who make, I mean, over $100,000, and if you go to their house, you'd be like, "Are you serious? They make over $100,000? Are you serious? They got a regular looking couch, if they have a couch." You know what I'm saying? And they might not even have like their house might not even really be furnished like that. You might think it just might look like, they just got there or something. But yeah, guys are a lot more practical nowadays, and they have to think a little bit more practical, especially because a lot of women want a lot more nowadays. And then if you throw kids into the equation, let's say you want to get married and have kids. I mean, so the thinking is, okay, if I have a wife, she's going to want to live comfortable. All right? So that's an expense right there. And then if I have kids, my wife is going to want the kids to live comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that you have to think of. That's something that a lot of guys are thinking about. So most of the thinking is I would probably say a lot of it is the practicalities that come with it. Um, so a lot of times guys are willing to just settle for, just being cool with you, or, if they, just, just being cool and keeping you in that little front. Sometimes it's because they don't want to they don't want to start something they don't want to they can't stop, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of women uh that I probably could be in a relationship with right now, possibly. I don't know, but I'm just saying, I'm just talking. But um, but the reason I have my reasons why I won't go but so far with them. You know what I'm saying? Some of it is because they might have kids. They might already have kids, and I'm looking at that, and they might be beautiful, and the girl might be beautiful, the woman might be beautiful and everything, and she might have it all together. She might have a good job or whatever, yada yada. But that kids is an expense, and already thinking the woman is already an expense right there, and it's like, yo, you throw them kids in there, it's like, man, how am I gonna what am I gonna do when I retire? How am I gonna ever retire? She already got the kids, and kids are already expensive, but you really, most guys want to come in and then have kids after. They don't want to go in the situation where there's kids already in the situation. So that plays a role in it. It's a lot of things. Uh it's a lot of things, a lot of variants, that reasons that a lot of men uh there's reasons why a lot of women friend zone guys, because it's a lot of men that's friend zone. And it's crazy because I'm probably the only, out of all my friends in my circle, probably the only one that's single. All of my friends got married. Most of all my close friends got married while we were in college. So they've been married already. They've been married. They have kids for the most part. And you know, I stay single because I'm thinking about money. You know what I'm saying? Now they were thinking about money. They were in college and they were thinking about money too. But I think the difference is, maybe, well, I was a little bit more like, if I had got married while I was in college, I probably wouldn't be doing what I love. I would be doing what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? I would have taken jobs that I would have had to take rather than taking jobs that I love to take. And I think that's the upside to me staying single, is I get the benefit of doing what I love. But if I getting married, and I've been to the point where I've almost been married, um, or almost been engaged. I'll say that. I've been in relationships where it got really serious, and I'll be honest. When it got that serious, where I was thinking proposal and talking all that stuff, I started taking jobs. I started taking jobs just to take jobs. I would take any type of job, you know what I'm saying? I would, just to make some extra money or whatever. And you know, I it came to a point where I thought to myself, hey, you know what? If this is what I gotta do to be married, or to start a family, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put all my dreams and aspirations on the side. If this is what I'm going to do. Now, the relationship didn't work out. So I ended up being able to come back and do what I love to do again, which is a good thing. But, that's something every man has to think about, when they're thinking about relationships and marriage. They're thinking, because I'm going to be honest, like some of my friends, they never really got to, they might not say this to their wives or to their kids, but they 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 took they ended up taking jobs that they had to take, because they have a family and they wanted to provide, and they didn't live out there. A lot of them aren't necessarily living out their dreams or anything, but they're making some money. You know what I'm saying? They're not broke or anything. They're doing something, you know, and they did what they had to do. Now, their personal happiness, I'm not saying that they're not happy, because their happiness had to change, because now they have to think about, I'm happy when my family's happy rather than me just being happy for me. You know what I'm saying? For me, I'm happy because I love what I'm doing and everything. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I can be a lot more selfish when it comes to that. So yeah, it's a lot different when you're talking about getting into relationships versus being single has its pros and cons. And I think nowadays a lot of people are a lot more selfish. A lot of people are more concerned about their own personal happiness, and when you try to bring that into a relationship, it's not going to work. Personal happiness doesn't work in relationships. um I'm learning how not to settle. um how do I think to some degree we all settle. I I think all relationships you're settling to some degree, and it doesn't matter how beautiful the woman is, or how handsome the man is, or how much money they make. You're s- you because you're not going to get everything out of one person. You're just never going to get everything that you conjured up in your mind from one person. It's just not possible. I mean i mean I've been in relationships where where uh where I overlooked certain things because, okay, yeah, I'm with this girl and I love this quality about her. So I'll overlook this quality about her. I'll overlook this quality that I don't like about her. You know what I'm saying? Just because she has this quality. And I'm sure women do it too. You know what I mean? I'm very sure women do that. They there's a guy that they might like, but they might say, okay, I'm willing to deal with this guy, even though he might not have this, or he doesn't do this or whatever, but he does do this. You know what I'm saying? So it's a give and take. It's a give and take kind of thing, I think with relationships. um, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that word settling, because now I feel like uh it's almost like it's almost like now I'm not saying I know you said this, Janine, but I'm not talking about you. But it's almost like when we say, "Oh, I'm not gonna settle," it's almost like we put ourselves up here, and then we're saying, okay, we're looking down at everybody and saying, oh yeah, I'm not going to settle for this down here. And I feel like everybody's kind of here, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, but we all have different traits or whatever that, you know may be appeasing or not appeasing to, or whatever. um yeah, that's just how I feel. I don't know. But yeah, shout out to Janine. Yay. Come on with the questions. I like this. This is kind of fun. Hopefully I'll do this more. I know the last video I said I was going to do this every day, and I didn't. I didn't. It's like I hear exactly what you're saying. I feel the same. I feel the same way. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, there's a yeah, the it's just I feel like the language that we use in dating can sometimes create just create an atmosphere of things, create an atmosphere that doesn't have to be. You know what I mean? You like, yeah, it's a lot of nonsense. I feel like when I'm looking online, or when I see people talking about relationships, and then it's like it kind of you kind of get rubbed the wrong way a lot of times. I hear that settle word a lot and want to bring it up now for combo. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I said, it's good that you brought it up, because we do have to talk about that. You know what I mean? Um, that's something that needs to be talked about. How the words that we use, as far as in talking about relationships, um, can can build can build up, a false reality. We can build up false realities and these fantasy worlds, and we can pedestalize ourselves a lot of times when we're not we're just as broken or just as we're just like everybody else, you know I'm not this I think the amount of people who are less than are very few. You know what I'm saying? And the amount of people who are greater than are very few. There's the great people, I think there's very few of those people who should be pedestalized. You know what I'm saying? um I think for me, like, I just never was the type of person to put people on pedestals like that. Um, I wasn't a kid that was growing up, even in if there was a girl that everybody in school wanted, I was always looking the other way. You know what I'm saying? I remember there was this one girl that, all my friends was trying to get me, trying because she actually liked me or whatever. And at the time it wasn't her fault, but all the boys were just like just like real, oh man, I gotta talk to her. She was like the one that everybody, all the boys wanted to talk to. And I'm just like, and it wasn't nothing wrong with her. It's just more of, I just kind of wasn't like the dude to be all over the girl that everybody wanted. Needless to say, after hearing them talk and talk and talk and talk, I ended up with her, and it didn't last that long because I broke it up real easy. I broke it up like after a week or two, and because I was tired of it, and I couldn't do it, and I'm just not a people pleaser type person. I don't like pleasing people, or I don't like being forced into things too. Uh, I hear exactly what you're saying. I feel the same. I already read that. I hear that worse. I don't. Oh no, I read that. Okay, I actually like men who are not perfect. That's every guy. No guy is perfect. We all no person is perfect, it's men and women. Let me do that. Because a lot of times we put these categories, we put men on one side and we put women on one side. And honestly, men and women are more alike than we are different. There are differences between men and women. There are big differences between men and women, but there are a lot of social things, like the way we feel about certain things. We feel the same way about a lot of things. We just react to certain things a lot more than others. You know what I'm saying? And we might react a little differently, you know, when certain things come up, I think men value certain things. Our value systems might be a little bit different because women might value certain attributes more than others, and men might value another set of attributes more than others. Um, so like when certain problems come up, a man might think, "Oh, that shouldn't be a problem," and then a woman might be the worst thing ever in the world to that woman, and the guy's trying to figure out what's wrong, But yeah, so yeah, none of us are perfect. None of us are perfect. Um, yeah, so hey, I've been on here 48 minutes and 48 minutes. Hey, that's crazy. I can't believe I talked this long. And just to let y'all know, I don't really talk like this. I don't really talk that long like this. Usually I'm in and out, but I'm trying to push myself to really talk a lot more. Uh, I don't know if I'm gonna do. I told you the last time I said that I was gonna do this every day, and I hadn't done this every day, and that's mainly, well, I could have excuses, but it doesn't really matter. It's not gonna change the fact that I didn't do this every day. But yeah, the whole dating scene is some garbage right now. I'm saying that a lot of, what I am seeing a lot of men, I would say a lot of older men in their 40s, or a lot of men in their like 50s, and like somewhere in their 50s or late 40s. A lot of them are dating women outside the country. So that's especially black men. A lot of black men like are starting to date women in Thailand and Colombia, and they going out the country and finding these girls. That's where a lot of them are now. So if you're looking for a guy in that age group, I mean, that's where they going. They going out of they most of them have already decided they are done with American. It has nothing to do with white, black, or Hispanic or anything. It has more to do with culture. And I notice a lot of women outside of America are attracted to black men because a lot of black men were raised by mothers. So there's a lot of attributes that uh a lot of black men nowadays have because they were raised around women. Um Not that saying that they're feminine, but there's a little bit there's a respect for women that that a certain type of respect that a lot of men nowadays may have that maybe another generation or didn't have, you know. But yeah, I'm noticing that a lot of men that are around over 45 and in their early 50s, a lot of them are dating women outside the country. They're not even a lot of them are done with American women. But, that's just kind of what it is. And I think it doesn't help with the climate. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. No problem, Janine. I think it doesn't help with the climate though too. When I say the climate, I'm talking about if you look all the things that create the 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 atmosphere for dating, and when I say all the things, I'm talking about online TV, the movies we watch, the shows we watch, uh, you know, all of those create a narrative about who men are and who women are. You know what I'm saying? If you're watching a lot of the housewives of Atlanta or LA or whatever, that create in a man's mind, that creates a narrative of who women are. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be true, but you know what I'm saying? And just vice versa. There's shows and movies that create a narrative of who men are. And it doesn't have to be true, but a lot of that stuff has been ingrained in our minds, and a lot of times when and not just ingrained of our minds, a lot of times we become those people because of what because of the type of media that we consume. We become a lot of times those people that we see over and over and over. um because I'm not going to sit here and say that there aren't scumbag guys and that there aren't women that are scumbags also, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to sit here and say that there aren't people like that, because there are a lot of people that are like what we see, you know. But there are a lot of people who aren't. But I think it's hard for a lot of us to find each other because we have to go through all this mess just to find each other. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So yeah, I don't know how long. Tell me when it's time when you're leaving, because I think I'll leave in about, yeah, if I can get to an hour, that'll be good. So it's 53 minutes now. So if I do an hour, yeah, maybe I'll stay on for a couple more minutes and then I'm cool. But yeah, so I hope that this is helping somebody. I remember a guy I was dating was into basketball. So I studied about basketball to impress him. Hmm. I don't know if guys, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if guys care if the women that we like uh, are into what we're into. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if guys care about that too much. So I don't know how well you could impress a guy. I mean, it could be impressive if you were in that field, and that you were already into basketball. You know what I mean? Like you play basketball yourself. It wasn't a good thing though. Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. It's just like, let's say you're into makeup. You know what I'm saying? That's your thing. You're into makeup and cosmetics and stuff. Would you want the guy that you're dating to all of a sudden be a guru and know about makeup? Oh, you should put your eyeliner on like this and that. And that. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't want a man to be into that. You know what I'm saying? the guy's probably, if he's not interested in that, he might, you want him to be as interested as, oh, I see you, oh man, I like your eyes. I like what you did there. And that might be as far as he might go. You know what I'm saying? But you don't want him to know everything about, oh man, that foundation, the way you put it on, because now it starts to sound kind of funny, you know what I'm saying? And it goes vice versa. The guys, it's not that we want our women to be ignorant of what we do, but it's we want men want women to be interested. Like, we want you to be interested in us, not in necessarily what we do. Be interested in us. You know what I'm saying? And advice. I'm sure women want men to be interested in them more than interested in what they do. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, because what we do is what we do, and we might already have a group of friends that we do that stuff with, and most guys might not we might love you and everything, but then there's that time where, okay, we don't have to be all buddy here in this area, in the basketball area, or this is my thing right here. We don't have to be buddy here, you know what I'm saying? You could do your own thing and love what you love, and I love what I love, you know what I'm saying? And then we can love each other, you know what I'm saying? But we don't have to necessarily love everything that we do, and I think that's one reason why, like, I don't date a lot of women who are into music like I am. Like, I'm into music. I don't date a lot of singers. I've dated singers before, and it usually never works out. It usually never works out. And even if I date a singer, I'm not really into what they do. Most of the singers that I've dated, I wasn't into the type of music that they do, or I wasn't really into their thing. Like, whatever they did, their gigs or whatever, you know, things that they were doing or whatever, I was never really into their lane. Whatever their lane was, that was their lane. And I kind of stayed out of it. You know what I'm saying? You should do more videos. You got a lot of insight. Right, yeah. Insight. Yeah. Uh I thanks for calling it insight. Yeah, that's what I appreciate it. I appreciate the gesture, and maybe I'll do more. I'll try to. I gotta get more people to watch this, so I won't be talking to myself. I know the last video. Oh man, it's weird talking to this. It's weird talking in front of a camera. I'm not used to that. I barely talk to people like that. So to me, to be talking to a camera is almost like me talking to myself, which is weird because I usually just keep my thoughts in my head and just keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? I usually don't really express it orally, or express what I have to say, outwardly. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do that. I'm gonna definitely try to do that. But yeah, there's probably a million things we could tackle with this subject, because it's something that everybody goes through. Everybody, especially in the single world, a lot of people nowadays are are feeling like they're on an island by themselves. So everybody is trying to find somebody, or everybody. I don't even know if everybody's trying to find somebody really. It's like we all don't want to be alone, but at the same time, we want to do our own thing. That's kind of how I feel everybody is. Posted on Facebook or our IG, then go live. Huh. Yeah, that's possible. Yeah. Post on our Facebook and IG. I'll probably do that. That might be something I might do. Yeah. Yeah. I'm definitely going to try to strategize this a little bit better. But yeah. And if you got any comments or any other things that we probably didn't discuss on, yeah, it'd be good to just put it in the chat, and yeah, just go for it, cuz I don't know everything. I don't know everything about this whole dating. There's a lot of obscure details that come with talking about this subject, It's a lot of things that I'm not a dating guru or nothing like that. I don't know everything. I I know what I know, you know what I'm saying? I know what I've experienced, and I know the type of women that I've experienced. I don't know all women, you know what I'm saying? So like anything I say is not something to put on all women or all people or all men, you know what I'm saying? as far as like, I can only talk from my own perspective. I can only say what I've done or the things I've seen. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and you're doing a great. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Uh, yeah, you can like it, share it, do whatever. I don't care. You can chop this up if once we finish. I don't care what you do, but yeah. So we just hit an hour, so I'm about to sign off this, and I'll probably come back and do this again maybe tomorrow. Um, I know why I didn't. I had to wait till I got a fresh cut to do this. That's why I hadn't been online like that. Yeah, but yeah, so I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to get on. Maybe tomorrow I might do it if I have time. I really have to play it by ear, but I really want to get a set time of where I come on and where I can. I'll see where I can get some traction. But yeah, I think for me it's more of of just knowing what to say. Because honestly, I came on here today. I really did. I had an idea of what I was going to talk about, but I didn't really plan it all out. So maybe that might be the feel. Just have an idea, a topic that I want to talk about, and just kind of just go like that. Yes, do it again. I will. But I want to say peace. I'm signing off, and peace and love to everybody. Love you.